Big trouble going on over at Marvel Rivals. Well, maybe not so big. It's just the Seattle office in America that's experiencing 6 layoffs. And among those layoffs here is Thaddeus Sasser. And he wants to tell us all about just what happened, or maybe an overview of it. So he has this to say. This is such a weird industry. My stellar, talented team just helped deliver an incredibly successful new franchise in Marvel Rivals for NetEase Games. And we're just laid off. Oh well, times are tough all over. Let's find these people some new jobs because we all need to eat, right? Today, I'm going to start with the inspiring Gary McGee. During the course of the project, Gary was a fantastic person to work with. This is a highly technical designer working currently on level design, but I've seen his passion project, who is a proactive problem solver. Bit of a strange sentence there. Anyway, a lot of our time on this project was spent sort of R&D, coming up with new level design mechanics, gameplay mechanics, and so on. Gary was a key part of those efforts. His technical ability, proactivity, and passion for game development and problem solving were a huge asset to the team. Gary doesn't wait for a problem to slow the team down. He finds a way around or through it. Early in his time at our Seattle studio, the one where everybody's getting laid off from, and I say everybody, it's just 6. We'll see the information in a minute. He developed level design tools and gameplay mechanics. That I can tell you about because they belong to NetEase. Ha! Oh, he can't tell you about those. Oh, okay. I read that wrong. My apologies. Going too fast here. But they greatly accelerated the team and often enabled the team's progress. On top of it, he's a nice person, too. He holds some strong but wrong opinions on video games. He's highly competitive in a good way, and he's got a lot of deep thoughts and philosophies on life. So I just gave you the rest of this love letter to this fella. Thaddeus is explaining to you that this person was not an activist. From what we can see, read right here, this person was not involved in making sure that this person's sexuality was well represented here, and this person's, divergent lifestyle is represented over here. None of that. He was clearly focused on what makes a game, and that's the playability of it, not the message within. And I appreciate that about good old McGee here. It's a good thing that this is being wrote up about this guy because a lot of people want to think ill of these game devs, like universally. Everybody who's in game development today is a horrible person, that kind of thing. But it would appear that Gary McGee isn't so bad. Gary McGee appears to be very focused on what it is to be a gamer and what pleases gamers, as we read in this letter here. Now, they could have gone on and on about, Thaddeus could have gone on and on about how much Gary cares about different diversity quotas and making sure that certain people are represented and all these rainbow flags and virtue signaling. But in reality, he only really talked to how passionate and skilled Gary was. So I want you to pay attention to the difference here already, okay? Now, you know me, I go back and forth on this whole Marvel Rivals thing just because the way that the CCP gets into the guts of these companies. And it bothers me that it's censored and that censorship is only going to grow now that the Western audience is aware of it. So pretty soon, your game chat's going to be going away because, well, you have to censor just about every word at some point because English is one of those context languages. So when you use a word in a different space, it means something else, even though it's the same word. And thus, well, you could talk about Tiananmen Square by just saying T squared in the chat. And then now we're in trouble. Now you got to ban T squared, and then you got to ban all the phrases related to T squared, as in T-SQUARE. You got to ban that. And that's what it is that, Marvel Rivals is a nice game to play, and I'm told that it's a great game to play for, like, team mechanics. They're working on moving it into the esports arena. So really good to see that happening. Need some fresh competitive edge going on there. We saw that Blizzard was upset. Sorry, I'm just spitting on Blizzard's name there. Blizzard was upset with Marvel Rivals' success and wanted to accept the challenge, but did so in a catty way. So it's not like Marvel Rivals is bad across the board. It just has one very big hiccup for me that makes me not want to engage with it. And that very big hiccup is the CCP. It's a little hard to get beyond it. But we have Jack Burrows here letting us know that he was also laid off from NetEase, from his job at NetEase in America. And so he says, hey, folks, welp. Gotta love that. Welp. Anyway, Just got laid off from my job working on Marvel Rivals with NetEase. Was an enormous pleasure to work with my American coworkers who joined me in this sad culling. Just couldn't dodge that big boot, I guess, no matter how big the success of the gig. So now I'm seeking a new role. Would appreciate your support. If you hear if you hear of any opportunities or just want to catch up, please send me a message or comment below. I'd love to reconnect. So we're dealing with that. As you can see, Jack here is, a little more front facing about what's going on, maybe a little less hopeful in his wording, I guess. But Grum stepped forward and he had some information on this. Now, as usual, Mark Kern rushes to the headlines with stuff, gets some information a little overjazzed sometimes, picks a target wrong sometimes. He went after Bouting into Comics Nerdigans a few weeks ago, having mistaken her attitude. And it's just how it is. The internet is a big place. So if you're not a fan of Grum's, understand that we do take what he has to say with a grain of salt. We do try to verify stuff beyond what he posts. And that's where we found this information from Wario. So just kind of bear with us if you are not a fan of Grum's. If you are a fan of Grum's, then please understand we have verified most of the information here, as you can see with that NetEase screenshot from Wario. So we trust what he has to say here, at least for the most part. So let's see what's going on. Grum says, it's wild to see the Marvel Rivals thing be spun out of proportion by legacy media in real time. The impact seems far less than they are reporting. Here's what we know. 6 people were laid off from the US division of NetEase. This may have been the entire size of the Seattle Marvel Rivals office. 6 is unfortunate, but still a small number compared to the entire dev team on Rivals. Marvel Rivals core creative director is still there. His name is Guangyun Chen. I think I said that right. And he does all the game design. Excuse me. He does all the game design and vision updates on their YouTube channel. The game director let go from the US office, whose LinkedIn post you see everywhere, is Thaddeus Sasser. In his own words, on his podcast video, he states Chen, the creative director, was in charge of the creative vision while he himself handled budgets and manpower. This looks like a simple reorganization with a tiny trim of staff, not the core-shaking development that Kotaku and others are trying to make it out to be. We will know more soon, but this is what we're doing. So this guy still has his job. This Guang, I think that's what they call him over there. That's a nickname. And again, like as he was explaining in the letter we wrote, they were involved in a lot of research and development. And then this is Grum's showing off his own screenshots of the stuff like that, what's going on. So basically what we're looking at with this information is that Marvel Rivals appears to be perfectly fine. I wouldn't believe any hype to suggest that there is a huge problem or that China's doing some crackdown on American talent or anything like that. I wouldn't say this is a reaction to the tariffs. I wouldn't say this is a reaction to the political climate of the US versus China. Personally, looking at this simply looks like they got their character designs, they got their game mechanics, they don't need to do research and development anymore. The main game designer is there to provide what they need, and he's working diligently right in front of the eyes of the consumer. So it's not, the whole team here isn't needed to complete this. And as was mentioned here, Thaddeus's role was attracting talent and managing budgets. And right now, that's not something they need managed. They have a lot of money, and the talent they have is simply dedicated to maintaining the product that's already out there. As for the future of all this, I'm not really sure, honestly. I don't know if Marvel Rivals would be able to hang on to this. I don't think that Overwatch is going to take it back either, but I think that Marvel Rivals kind of cracked the code on how to produce a hero shooter that doesn't suck. And here we go. I think there's going to be a lot of clones of that going forward because, as you know, video games are pretty derivative these days. And it's not a AAA 17-hour mind-numbing bald chicken space adventure. So I'm pretty sure that whatever somebody clones out of Marvel's Rivals will probably have the same kind of curb appeal. So wherever these guys go, We'll probably end up producing a Marvel Rivals clone very soon, is what I'm trying to tell you. But you'll have to let me know what you think down in the comments below, and even though you can't see it, I am giving you the old thumbs up. And I wish you good luck out there.